Hello, yoga friends. Welcome to today's practice, the Lighthouse Somatic Movement Flow. This practice helps to repattern all of the major muscles of the back and release much of the chronic tension and pain that can accumulate in the neck, the shoulders, the back, and the hips. So let's begin by finding our first position by bringing the legs to the right, sort of this mermaid seat. So your left leg will be square in front of you, and your right foot will swing back around towards your hip. And if for any reason your knee is not happy in that position, you can always just extend that leg straight out to the side. The movement will be a little bit less in the hip, but nonetheless just as beneficial. So finding the position that feels most comfortable to your body. And as we begin, I want you to think about moving slowly and with awareness, never pushing into points of pain or strain. And just beginning to really get a sense of this idea of moving from the inside out. So we get a new perspective, a new experience of how to be in our bodies, especially as we start to find ease again. All right, so we're going to get a little before picture, if you will, twisting towards your left. So your right hand finds your left knee, the left fingertips behind you. Feel a little length as you spiral up and around, and gazing back over your left shoulder. Let's take an easy breath here. And just notice where you can see too comfortably. Being honest with yourself. Don't feel like you need to crank to get around, but just where can you see too comfortably? Remember that spot. This is your current range of motion. Okay? And then come back to center. So we have 4 parts to this movement. The first is to take your right hand over to your left shoulder. Now I'm going to have my hand up a little higher just so that it doesn't block the mic, but you can rest it on the collarbone or the shoulder, and left fingertips beside you. Beginning to press the hip forward as you rotate around again to your left, eyes stretching around with you, and then untwisting and looking back over your right shoulder, eyes stretched to the right. Again, sweeping your gaze around towards the left, and unwinding all the way back to your right. Let's do that one more time, twisting to your left, and back to your right. Now changing this slightly, so you're going to keep looking to the right as your body twists left. It can feel a little awkward at first, but we're looking the opposite way of our twist. And then drawing back on your right shoulder, gazing to the left. Again, your body twists left, head to the right. And then unwinding, drawing back on the right shoulder, looking to your left. One more time, just breathing naturally. Let your brain connect in, finding that pattern of movement. And coming back to center. The third part of the movement, we're going to bring the fingers right underneath the chin. I'm just resting my thumb on my sternum, my chin on my fingers, and this way it allows the head to stay aligned in center. And we're going to be moving just the eyes with our body. This one's probably the trickiest for our brain, but it really helps to break up old patterns of chronic tension in the body. So let's try it. So now we're going to twist to the left and look to the right. So the head doesn't move, just the eyes look to the right as our body goes to the left. And coming back through center, unwinding a little to the right and look to the left. Take your time as you find this. Again, body twist to the left, just the eyes look to the right. And back through center, eyes look to the left. Breathing easy as we do one more, body to the left, head to the right, or sorry, just the eyes to the right. And back through center, eyes to the left. Release, take a breath. And the final movement, right hand comes back onto the left shoulder. We're going to turn a little bit to face that left knee. So we're working on a little bit of a diagonal. We're just moving through a cat stretch of the spine. So we lift the chest, the elbow, and the eyes stretch up. And then tuck and round as you pull the elbow down, chin in, and the eyes look down. Again, lifting up through the chest, the elbow, the eyes stretch up, and rounding the back, elbow down, eyes look down. One more time with our breath. Let's inhale, finding our lift and arch, and exhale, curling in. Release the arm down. We're just going to see if anything has changed. So twisting again to your left, your right hand finds your left knee. Taking a breath as you spiral gently around. Soften into your twist. And just notice if you can see around any further. Did your range of motion change at all? It may or may not have. Just notice. Release, come back to center and stretch your legs all the way out. So if you've noticed a change in your range of motion, that means that we have repatterned the length of the muscles. So we begin to break up, again, those old movement patterns that keep us stuck in chronic tension and start to really inhibit our mobility, our ability to move through our bodies. And as we start to free some of that movement back up, we may begin to gain more range of motion as well. And this is an accumulative practice, so the more often that you do this, the more benefit you're going to experience from it. All right, let's go to the other side. So swing your mermaid tail around to the left, your right leg is in front, your left leg tucks around behind, or remember you can always extend that leg out to the side. It'll just be a slightly smaller range of motion in the hips. All right, so let's get our before picture. Twisting to our right, our left hand will find our right knee, right fingertips behind you. Just take an easy breath in your twist. We can let that left hip press forward a little. And again, just notice a point that you can see comfortably to without striving to get there. Just easy breezy. Remember that spot. Come back to center. Place your left hand onto your right shoulder. And let's begin with head and body moving in the same direction. So we rotate around to the right. And then back to the left. So the head turns to the left, the eyes stretch to the left. Again, as your body twists to the right, head turns, eyes wrap around. And unwind all the way back to the left. So imagine that you are a beacon on the lighthouse, scanning out across the horizon as we sweep to the right and all the way back around to the left. Now we change it slightly, keep looking left as we twist to the right. And untwisting, drawing back on our left shoulder, look all the way to the right. Again, twisting to the right, take your time as your brain connects in with the movement, looking left. Unwind, draw back on your left shoulder, look to the right. Last time, twisting right, looking left. Breathing gently. And unwinding, looking back to the right, and release to center. Take a little breath. Let everything settle. All right, Bringing the left hand under the chin, so thumb against the sternum, chin resting onto the fingers. Your head's not going to move, so it stays in line with your torso. Just your eyes are sweeping back and forth in opposition to your body. That's the fun part, right? So as we twist to the right, just your eyes glide left. So we're drawing back on the right shoulder, eyes look to the left. Unwind, eyes sweep to the right. Again, twisting right, just the eyes look left. Unwinding, and eyes look right. Now, one more time. I'm just going to let you find that on your own without instructing. Come back to center. Pause, let's close the eyes for a moment. Just take a breath. And the final piece of our movement is the cat stretch. So the left hand comes back to the right shoulder. We turn to face the right knee so that back hip is pressed just a wee bit forward. And here we go, pressing down through your seat to lift into your heart. The elbow lifts, your eyes stretch up, and the curling in as if you could tuck the hips under. The elbow pulls down, chin drops in, and your eyes look down. Again, let's inhale up the spine, lifting through the heart. Elbow, eyes. Exhale, gather the belly in as if you could tuck the hips under. Curling into yourself. One last time, inhale, lift and arch. And curling in. Release and come back to center. Let's take our final integration movement as we twist to the right. Taking a breath, gazing over the shoulder. And again, just notice if you can see around any further. Unwinding, let's come back to center. Stretch your legs out, shake them out. And then just find an easy pose, legs crossed in front of you, holding on to the knees. And again, let's find that little lift and arch of the chest, gently squeezing the shoulders back. Be mindful not to overstretch the neck. Okay? And then tuck and round back. Chin, shoulders come forward, spreading across the upper back. Inhale, lift and arch. Gentle squeeze back of the shoulders. Exhale, tuck and round. Chest draws in, the shoulders stretch wide. Closing your eyes as we flow through our breath, flow through our body, forward and back. Need a little integration to our whole body. Flowing with your breath, last 2 times. Notice what it feels like to move from the inside out. Last one. Rolling all the way back up to center. Hips heavy, heart light, shoulders soft, just having a little wiggle. Again, just notice. How does your back feel? The neck, maybe turning the head a little side to side. So I hope that you feel more ease in your body and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.